What's up, my people? I hope you're having an amazing day. So today we have my man Chucka in the chair, and we're gonna do like a Mohawk burst taper type thing. I don't know, there's so many names nowadays, but anyways, you'll get the picture. So I started off combing the fade area and then picking out the hair just to kind of get us prepared for the haircut. So now I'm using my Gamma X Ergos with the stretch bracket and the new deep tooth blade, which in my opinion, man, cuts great. I love how smooth it cuts, but now with that stretch bracket, I can open it up like I would a wahl senior, a Bevel or something like that. So I'm using my wahl premium 1.5 guard to knock down this bulk and create the kind of shape that I'm going for. As you can see, I'm kind of giving him that Mohawk shape, right? So that kind of half moon. So you see how that dark hair, it kind of curves, and that's kind of look we're going for. And then I just kind of around that parietal ridge area and right there in the back area where I'm working right now, I just make sure that I kind of go straight up or straight out with it, you know, so I can knock down some of that bulk. And now I have my number 1 guard on there fully closed, and I'm going with the grain just to smooth out any of those hairs that may be curving up, and also just prep the hair for a better transition. So now instead of punching in the guideline with my trimmers, I'm going to go ahead and create the guideline with my clippers, so that way we don't have to worry about, you know, taking out a real harsh line. And they cut really close and smooth. Now I'm going to come in and create that second guideline with the blade fully open. And once again, I have the stretch bracket on there that they have with that new deep tooth blade. If you're a Gamma fan, then I believe that you'll absolutely love that stretch bracket and that deep tooth blade. That deep tooth blade's something else. So I'm just creating that second guideline. Now I'm going to close my clippers halfway and start below the guideline, working halfway up towards that second guideline. And then I'll simply close it, and then we'll work on knocking out that bottom guideline right now. So boom, we're just going to tap at that. Not worrying about perfection. We're just laying a good foundation that we can come back in later and clean up. Once again, we always want to, you know, be mindful of time. So for me, I like to kind of blaze through the steps, right? And then I can come back in and clean up later. So now I'm moving on to my third guideline, which really isn't much of a guideline. I'm just kind of blending into that area that I had the 1.5 guard on earlier and the 1 close going with the grain. So now with it fully open, I can just kind of flick right into that area. I'll still come back in and blend some of that, but it just makes it easier, you know, to transition. And then I'll end up closing it and just knocking out the darkest guideline, or trying my best to. And I always start below the guideline and just kind of flick into that guideline to knock some of that down and try to blend it in better. We won't get it all the way out as usual, so we'll come back in with a half guard halfway open, and then we'll work on that. So as you can see, I'm kind of, what I do is I press a little bit tighter towards the guideline, and if I'm moving up in the area with the same guard, getting higher, I try to be more light-handed and float the clipper more than anything. So now that I have my half guard on there, I have it halfway closed or halfway open, whichever you prefer. And anyways, then we're just going to go ahead and start working on knocking out that guideline. If I need to close it a little bit, then I will. Also, if I see little dark spots, I just use the corner and I kind of angle my clipper a little bit and just tap at those dark spots. I haven't really got to show Gamma a lot of love lately, man, so on my videos, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use the Gammas in a video today. And I really do like the Gammas, man. They're good. And I love Austin. Austin, I believe, is the owner of Gamma, or he's a big dog for sure. if he's not the owner. And he man, he always blesses me and sends me packages, and I don't show him enough love, and he definitely deserves it, along with the Gamma S.Craft company. So as you could see, I was just trying to make sure that we can, make this transition a little bit smoother. So I went back in with my 1.5 guard. Really wasn't doing much, so now I'm coming in with the 1 open, just knocking out some of that dark, weight, so we can kind of blend it better. Not really worried about perfection, but I wanted to put the picture in a frame. We wanted to line this thing up to give us a bit better picture of that fade. So I'm using my Andis GTX EXOs, and as some of you know, if you've seen my Instagram video, I love these trimmers, man. I'm not gonna lie, I love them. They hit nice, but unfortunately I had some issues with mine, and they started making a lot of loud noise. And you know what, it could have been my fault. Maybe I did something with the blade or whatever. So I tried to work on that, and I felt like I got them fixed. And then unfortunately, I was in the middle of a cut, and the spring arm that holds the blade, it just popped. It just snapped, and I was like, what was that? And I looked at my trimmer, and they don't work anymore. So unfortunately I hate it, man, because I really do love these trimmers. So I'm gonna try to figure it out. But now that we got this picture framed up, now I'm gonna look at this little bulk that I see and start removing some of this weight. So I have that 1.5 guard, or excuse me, number 1 guard fully open again, and just moving in, knocking out any weight that I see around that edge and up there in the blend area. And I'm also going to come back and detail more, but I just wanted to clean it up as quick as possible. And now I'm kind of doing that reverse fade with the 1 on the beard, with the 1 fully open. Then I'll close it, working my way up, and I'll take it off and blade fully open, and then halfway, and then closed until we can knock that line out. And if I can't get it out, I'll come back in with the trimmers and knock that out as well. So now also with the Andis GTX EXOs, I'm coming in, hitting that line, and man, look at them. Man, I love these things. I hate that they're giving me issues right now, but I do really like them. I feel like they do hit better actually than the old cordless Andis clippers, but it is what it is. We'll see what we can do to get them fixed. But anyway, so as you can see, I just combed that hair back, and then I went ahead and hit it again. The reason I comb the hair back once I create the line is because I want to make sure, if for whatever reason his beard moves backwards, those loose hairs are gone, so that way we can keep it looking sharp all the time. So now, as you can see, his front hairline's a little thinner, and some of those hairs were curling up, sticking out, so I just kind of knocked them down with my number 1 blade, going with the grain. Now I'm going to come in, starting from the middle, working my way on the outside. Just come in and line up this hairline, keep it looking as clean as possible, and then I'll come in with some color enhancement, and I'll fill that in. And as you know, I like to spray my color enhancement on there, and then I will spray some hairspray. Once the color is dry, I'll spray some hairspray, and then spray hair fibers, hairspray again, and then I'll come back and line all that up just to make sure it looks fuller and cleaner. So now, where we left off with that 1.5 guard, now after picking out his hair, I just go ahead and go straight up, just freehand straight up, and towards the back part of this mohawk, I'll kind of go straight out. I just, same motion, just facing towards the back, and I just work all the way around and just clean that up so it looks nice and straight. Then I'll come in on the top, and I'll freehand the top, and now we're just removing some long hairs, but I'm not worried about it being perfect, because he doesn't wear like a picked out fro look or real clean. If that was the case, I'd make sure we have it looking as sharp as possible. But because he uses the curl sponge, I went ahead and curl sponged it for him before I put color on, and before I put fibers, I curl sponged it. Now I'm coming in, knocking out some of that bulk after curl sponging it, and hitting any dark spots with my thinning shears, just kind of working on some detail work, not detailing fully, because I like to wait till the end to do that, but I want to make sure we get it looking good. So now I'm coming in with my color enhancement with my Sean Cuts Hair color card, and just filling that in. Once again, I'll dry it with a blow dryer. Then I'll put hairspray, fibers, hairspray, dry it, and then once it's dry, I'll come in with my trimmers and just line them up again. It is some extra work, but it pays off in the end because it gives them that nice full look, and it's with the fibers you're not seeing the color on the skin, which looks fake. You actually have hair there, but you have a foundation of color. So right now I'm using my FX3 trimmers, and I love these trimmers, man. They hit super hard and clean, and I kind of was getting stuck, like, man, should I use my GTX or should I use my FX3? And obviously now I'm with the FX3, but they do a good job knocking off that hairspray and the extra hair fibers and all that. Now I figured today in this video I'd get on my Get Beamed and throw on some color pencil, and then we'll come back in and line that up. And let me say this, a lot of people put color pencil on and they pretty much just leave it like that. You're not supposed to leave it like that. That looks fake and unnatural. What you're supposed to do is come in, and what I do is once I put the color pencil down, I push up towards the line or towards the color enhancement that I used already, right? And what that does is create a nice looking sharp line. And then I'll kind of pull my trimmers away from that line and kind of smear it out, blend it out, because we don't want it to look like a big fat thick line, right? We want it to give it that contrast. We want it to look clean and professional. And here, that's a balled out area, so I went ahead and just kind of blended that out with my trimmers. So now I'll come back in there again, pushing the pencil up towards the line, giving me that good contrast from light to dark. And then I'll come back in with the razor, and then I'll pull it all towards the line with the razor, and that's smearing out some of that color pencil, but also giving that real clean, sharp line and transition. And if I see it's a little too thick, where it looks unnatural, I'll come in and kind of blend that out as well. So once again, if you're doing this and you're taking pictures and posting on Instagram, don't leave that big white line. Yeah, you want that ash line effect and you want that cool distinction between light and dark, but you don't want to leave, just a whole bunch of white, or tan color pencil on there. So as I'm hitting him up, he likes that area to dip but still look kind of sharp. So I had him, just kind of blow out his cheek there and tighten that up. There again, still just pulling everything back to the line with that pencil. See how natural it looks now? You see the contrast. You see a little bit of that light pencil, but it looks nice and sharp. So now I'm coming in just doing detail work, and I just take my time, man. I just tap at any dark spots or lines, and that's the finished look right there. As you can see, my man, he's looking happy, excited about his cut. Whole different change in attitude from what it looks like in the video. Then I come back in and I just round out the back. The reason I kind of wait to the end on these types of haircut to round out the back, because I have to get back there and clean the neck up anyway, so I might as well do it at the same time, right? So now that's the finished look. I hope you guys like it. If you do, man, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and make sure you hit the bell as well, because that definitely will notify you of videos that I drop so you can stay connected. If you're not following me on Instagram, you can follow me at S.Craft_blends with a Z. And until next time, God bless you guys. Peace. I'm out of here.